What is up, guys, and welcome back to SBK16 Career Mode. Today we have episode 3 taking place at the Aragon Motorland in Spain. On screen now you can see some clips running from episode 2 which took place in Thailand, so be sure to go check that one out if you haven't seen it already. Before we just get started, today's video is one of my favourite circuits in this game. However, it's not one that I can ride very well at. So that could be interesting, and if you're excited, let's just jump straight into it. And as you can see, the results from practice, fairly bog standard stuff. We topped the session by a couple of seconds because it's practice, you know, there's nothing interesting about that. I just do it to show you guys the results, and at the end of the day I only run it on medium difficulty, so it's not sort of a true reflection of what my proper pace is for the weekend. My proper pace was showcased in qualifying when on max difficulty we did indeed pull the rabbit out of the hat and secure our second pole position of the season. I'll admit that did come as a bit of a surprise considering I didn't think it was a very good lap, but anyway, my teammate Ray is starting alongside me. Let's go to race 1. Here we are on the grid, and we're getting ready to go to 3 red lights for race number 3, and it's go here in Aragon. And again, it's been a great start from Raya, and he's already straight into us, but thankfully we can hold it round the outside at turn 1. A little bit of contact with my teammate, but thankfully again it's only a short run down to the first corner, otherwise we could have done what happened in Australia and lost a couple of places. But anyway, it's been a decent start from us. We've managed to maintain P1 so far in the first sector, and as you can see, my ride quality is appalling. Track limits are playing a huge part in the factor of this race. Obviously, you know, when you go into the runoff areas, your bike just stops accelerating, so that's why I always find this circuit very hard. However, it's absolutely spectacular, some of the scenery, and it sort of reminds me a bit of Spa, and that corner in particular is very, very difficult to master. The sort of blind downhill left-hander, very steep, and this one another one again where it's easy to run off track. And by looking at the circuit, you can quite clearly see that it is a very, very narrow circuit, and this is another one again where it's very easy to overshoot, just as I did there. But again, despite all of those things that I've just mentioned, I do love riding this circuit. I think it's a great circuit, and to be honest, I would love to see Formula 1 racing here at some point in the future. You've got this long back straight which I really love to just ride down, and you can just let the bike fly, and then at the end of it you've got a couple of long sweeping high speed left-handers back onto the start finish straight. So there you go, that is a full lap of this circuit, which I think is absolutely brilliant, and let's just see what's going to happen in the rest of the race as we go very wide through the last corner. This is coming towards the end of lap number 3. I'm still just about holding the lead despite mistake after mistake. Obviously, I said I can't ride very well here. There is one, and there again, and you can see I just can't seem to get the rear end in shape, and all of a sudden we're going to lose the lead, and this is catastrophic because as you can see on the minimap there's just a couple of corners to go, and is this the race win once again slipping through our fingers? However, we can make time up against the AI through this corner with the speed that I can carry through, and it's going to be a drag race to the line. No, we go right the way around the outside, and in the end we are going to win our first race of this career mode. Wow, we left it late, but in the end the risk paid off. I need a break after that. A couple of mistakes from me, but it doesn't matter, and we hold on for a fantastic P1, and we deserve that because we led for the entirety of the race, and we've won our first race of this career mode. And now we're revving up to 3 red lights for the second race here in Aragon as we get a chance to go for our first ever Grand Slam, and this time it's been a much better start. We immediately cover off our rivals from the front row into the short run down to the first corner, but in the end we get aggressively shunted out wide by our teammate Raya and Davies there, so we're just going to swoop back up the inside, heading uphill now towards turn 3 and the tight middle section. You can clearly see just how narrow the track is around this place, but anyway, I do still very much enjoy riding around it nevertheless. So it's Giuliano in the lead, I believe, now, and we're just going to have to sit behind him and wait for an opportunity, or maybe not, as we're just going to send one to the inside there. And again, the rear end just doesn't have the traction coming out of the corner. It's so annoying, because without that I would have got some of these moves done. And here it is, the downhill left-hander. It's so difficult, and you could see the bottom of the crest, just how steep it really is. But we've crashed, and that is a big problem, and that is not the way we need to go if we are going to win our first Grand Slam. If you don't know, the Grand Slam is to be fastest in practice, qualifying, and win the race, as well as getting fastest lap, which I didn't show to you. However, I have done that in both races, and again, I'm just breaching the track limits a little bit there because I'm not wasting any time. But again, the fact that the AI are running about 3 or 4 wide means, look, there's absolutely no room whatsoever, and I'm being squeezed out off the circuit, which is so annoying. And you've seen this glitch at the last 2 sort of races where we've been to, where we've had an incident with the AI, and they've all just blocked the road as if they want me to crash into them again. It's just unbelievable. And this is now lap number 2, and we're going to send a move onto Forest into the downhill left-hander. I absolutely nailed it that time, and get a great exit to boot, and we're back into P8, and this time we're going to go side by side with another rider. Not quite sure who that was off the top of my head, but anyway, this is another long straight, sort of reminds me of Blanchimont, and we're catching up to the leaders again, and I absolutely nailed the braking point there. And we're going to go down the inside of Van der Mark, or it might have been Hayden, I'm not quite sure, somebody on the Honda. And again, we're coming back into the final sector, and that was much better apart from the rear snap on the end of the traction, just going straight into the gravel. But this really is a fantastic circuit apart from that. However, you've quite clearly seen the mistakes that I've got. It's just the bike just not quite having it fully on round this track today. But coming into the final corner, about to start the last lap of the race, last lap around this circuit for this episode. And you can see by this point I'm about to make a move onto my teammate. This is for second place. Down the inside we go on Jonathan Rea, and we are up into second place, and now we just need to cruise it round the final sector. We've potentially got the win in our sights again. This Grand Slam is getting closer, but again I've just dipped the front tyre onto the grass. Down the hill we go again, just trying to get any acceleration I can. Rea trying to fight back there. You can see me looking behind at the gap, but it's not quite going to be enough for our teammate. And in towards the diving left-hander, we're going to go round the outside of Giuliano. If we can keep it on the road now, it looks as if we are going to get a Grand Slam. Maybe not. We go slightly off the track, but it doesn't matter anyway. And we get our first ever Grand Slam on this game. Wow, what a brilliant result that was, despite my, well, despicable riding at times, let's be honest. But at the end of that race weekend, we now lie just 6 points behind our teammate Jonathan Rea heading into round 4 in the Netherlands. And guys, that's just about it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed that highly successful episode. If you did enjoy it, please click subscribe so you don't miss any future videos that I make. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram and join my Discord. Both links are in the description below. And I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.